Hey Triton, hey YouTube. Just coming to you for a weekly recap of all our technique from last week, or at least the highlights of it. So we focused all week on maintaining mount. We did some submissions during the course of the week too, but the big thing is always position maintenance, because if I can't maintain position, I'll never get my submissions. If I can dominate position, I will inevitably get the submission. So Guzman's here to help me this week. By the way, look at this blue belt. Is that not the greatest blue belt in history? That is awesome. There's also a great story with it. But he's going to go ahead and go down and let me take mount. So from our typical mount position, we're here and we're based out. One of the facets we worked this week was a pressure mount, where I'm using my pressure from my pelvis and my chest to really immobilize his movement. So from here, the first thing I'm going to do to activate this mount is I'm going to slide my hips down over his, and I'm going to bring my feet underneath his butt, and I'm going to lock up almost in a guard position. When I do that, I bring my knees tight and my feet tight up towards his pelvis. This really locks in his hips. It minimizes his side-to-side movement, it minimizes his rotational movement, and it also has the effect of dropping my pelvis and the weight of my pelvis onto his hips. So he's carrying more of my weight. Control of the hips is always key. This is a great controlling posture. Now as we move up, I'm going to relax, take a deep breath, exhale, and I'm going to drop the pressure of my chest into his chest and weight that. Now one of the things a lot of people make the mistake of is I put a lot of weight on my hands. Here, he's very uncomfortable because he's carrying all my weight. What happens when I come out here and I press on the mat? My upper body lifts up and I give him room, and that's always bad. So what I'm going to do is relax, drop my weight, and these hands are going to come out as a feeler, and I'm just going to maintain contact with the fingertips on the mat. And these are going to work in little arcs like windshield wipers, depending on where he bumps to counter that force. So he bumps to the right, hand's going to roll to the right. He bumps to the left, hand's going to roll in the direction of force. And then I'll weight it to maintain the structure of my form. Otherwise, they're just waiting here and they're kind of hovering. So he's carrying the fullness of my weight. From here, there's some things he's going to instinctively do to break this posture. First thing is going to put a hand on my knee and try and push my knee out. Big secret here, I reach down, hook the wrist, and I just clear that wrist and relieve the pressure. Either side, whatever hand he goes to, I just make that movement. He might try and get more aggressive, put an elbow into my knee to affect some separation that way. Same thing, I come down, I either hook the elbow or I get the gi. I prefer the elbow, nice and solid, there's no pull to it, and I just clear that. And then he can do it on the other side. Notice how this hand takes over maintaining my posture while this hand goes down to clear that. The next thing that will typically happen is he's going to try and shrimp to affect a knee elbow escape. So now he's going to turn on his side, he's going to shrimp in, and he's going to start a knee elbow escape. Because if there's a weakness to this particular mount, it is that it creates a little bit of separation. If I let him do this, eventually he'll pull this away. So I need to bring him back to vertical. This whole escape is based on him turning to his side and shrimping out, go ahead and go, and turning into my knee. So while this hand maintains my posture, this hand's going to cross face at his forehead, and it's going to bring him back to vertical. Now, hip elbow escape, or knee elbow escape, becomes physically impossible. He goes to the other side, my hands switch, this one takes structure, this one cross faces him back to vertical, where he doesn't have the ability to knee elbow escape. The last thing that he might do is start oompaing and bridging very hard. As he does this, one hand braces, this hand lifts his head off the mat to take away his fulcrum. As his hips come down, he comes back to the other side, boom, and I'm scooping, I'm taking that away while I maintain structure with this hand. Once I take this fulcrum away, that position for him, that oompa, becomes very difficult. So when we move this from the technical aspect, which we just did, into kind of a drill aspect, we start here, and my partner is going to reach down with a hand, I clear it. Other hand, I clear it. Elbow, I clear it. Elbow, I clear it. I'm always getting this hand back out. He's going to shrimp to the side, I'm going to cross face. He's going to shrimp to the other side, cross face. And last, he's going to oompa. And I'm going to work on reading his energy, maintaining structure, and getting his head off. So, there it is. That's our pressure mount sequence. Very simple, very fundamental, very important for your mount game, and very important for setting up all your submissions from there. Alex and Eric from Triton. We'll see you all next week.